What's up, everyone? It's Chris from ProPhoto, and this is month 5 of the ProPhoto Share the Light competition. This month, we challenged you with This month, we gave you the task of showing us your best image where you mixed flash and ambient light, and there were some awesome shots. We have Lee and Patrick from F-Stoppers doing the judging for this month's jury. We're going to go through 5 images that they chose as the potential winner and announce the winner for this month's competition. That winner will win $2,000 in ProPhoto gear. With the final month of the Share the Light competition coming up, hopefully you've already entered 2 other contests and you get into this one. So you have the opportunity to try to win a gold wrapped Pro 11, which is an awesome prize to win. That being said, if you haven't, and this is going to be month 6 will be your first competition you entered, please get your photo in there because you could still win $2,000 in ProPhoto gear. And that's an awesome prize in and of itself. So with that being said, let's jump over to Lee and Patrick and hear what they have to say about the images. What's going on, everybody? It's Chris from ProPhoto. Today we are doing the 5th jury from our Share the Light competition, where we talk about mixing flash and ambient light. We have Lee and Patrick with us from the F-Stoppers gang to critique some images. They have their choices picked out. We're going to go through them. We're going to talk about what they do and don't like about them. We're going to announce a winner. That person's going to get $2,000 in ProPhoto gear. On top of that, hopefully you've already entered another contest because you would need that one, this one, and the next one to potentially win the Pro 11. But if not, $2,000 in gear still doesn't suck. So with that being said, Lee and Patrick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So for just really quickly, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who you guys are, but just a quick little introduction, if you wouldn't mind.
I'm Lee. I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. I attempted to do that. I got an internship with an ad agency. It was a disaster. I realized I wasn't good at it. So I thought, all right, I got to pivot real quick. My final year in college, I started taking photo classes and I just went all in. I was like, I will take pictures of anything as long as I don't have to get a real job. That's my only goal. Is I cannot work a desk job. I'm not cut out for this. So I moved to Charleston. I got a job at Ritz Camera, which was saving me 40% on camera gear at the time. And that's where I met Patrick.
You became a full-time photographer. Now you sit behind a desk.
Damn it.
My story, I mean, it's not similar at all. I went to school for pre-med. I thought I was going to be a dentist, following my dad's footsteps. And then as I was applying to different schools, I met Lee at the same Ritz Camera, and he persuaded me to take advantage of that 40% discount. I started building up some cameras out of a hobby, and he said, hey, come assist me. You can make enough money shooting weddings. You can probably pay your way through dental school and be debt-free, which would be a huge leg up. And then I just never got into dental school. I was one spot away. If one person had gone to a different school, I would not be sitting with you here today. And then eventually we had our own wedding businesses. We formed F-Stoppers together and built the community that we've been doing now for 16 years.
Yeah, like 16 to 20 years ago, there was like one main website. It was called Strobist, and he would teach lighting techniques in written blog form. And I'm kind of lazy. I assume Patrick is also. And so I was like, man, did we lose you there, Chris?
I am still here. I have a technical issue that I will be solving as we keep talking.
You want me to keep going with the story?
Yeah, you can keep going with the story. We will. Right. I'll be back in just a second with video.
Okay. So like 20 years ago, there was really only one website teaching photography. It was Strobist. He did these blog posts about how to do complex lighting and stuff. And he was specifically talking about these speed lights. That was kind of like a new technology back then because you could pair them together and use slave sync and sync them up and everything. So for the first time ever, you could use these little handheld flashes to take incredible looking pro shots that previously, before that website, it was kind of a mystery how these professionals were getting their images.
And it was big power packs, you know?
Sure, like tens of thousands of dollars. And so we decided, let's create a website that teaches photography, all the stuff that we're interested in, that we're like doing everything we can every day to figure out, but let's teach it through video. So the Nikon D70 came out.
I think it was the D90 was the first one.
D90?
The D90,
maybe you're right.
And it was like 5D Mark II.
The first DSLR ever to shoot video. and we taught ourselves how to do it, and we started making YouTube. Back then it was like Vimeo content, and now 15, 16 years later, here we are.
Bad
Cool.
HDMI cable?
No, didn't plug the camera in, so the battery ran out.
Dead battery.
It's
I have everything plugged in to AC power through batteries, like, on the floor. So, because power goes out here like every few days in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
And I will not touch it. I could use this camera all the time for like different projects, and I'm like, I will not ever touch it. So I just at a moment I can hit one button over here and all of this comes on for that reason.
Cool. All right, so we're back. Thanks for the introduction, guys. Let's jump into the first image we have here. Let's bring this up. Love it. So this shot is by Carl Thorborg. He's a photographer. I believe he's Swedish. I could be wrong. Yeah, Sweden. So Carl is in here with this image. You guys want to tell us what you think about it?
So I love this. I think what's most impressive to me is this guy's facial expression. I feel like I've seen this guy before. Is he a famous actor or something?
He almost looks like Tom Hiddleston.
Hadn't heard that name, but yeah, I don't know if I know who this person is, but this image certainly makes him feel like a celebrity to me. The lighting, I just love that wraparound on the face. It's kind of Rembrandt lighting, but it's also softened up a lot. I think I saw in that diagram below, is he using a some sort of fill reflector camera, right?
Yeah, looks like
maybe like under the camera.
Yeah, so Pro B4 umbrella with a diffuser, and then I guess it looks like some sort of reflector. He doesn't list it here.
Yeah, so I just the light on this dude's face looks incredible, and then the color grade that he's done here, desaturating it, just gives it that cool film movie vibe that I love. I do have a little critique, but I'll let Patrick go first.
I think cinematic is the
that the word I'm looking
specific
for?
word you're looking for.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
sorry.
the most overused word in all of photography, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree with everything. Like, what I love about this is it feels, maybe more than any other image that we'll see, this feels more like natural light than anything. I mean, this is just a really good use of strobe, and I think we're all guilty of it, right? You put the huge softbox there, you light them a stop or two over ambient, and all of a sudden it becomes very clear that it's an off-camera light that's lighting the scene. This has that whole magazine editorial vibe that, I think a lot of photographers, we need to use strobe to make the image register on the sensor, but it's very easy to make it look like it was strobed versus just embellishing the light that's there or replicating a natural light that, isn't going to call attention to itself. And I think this is a masterful use of soft light in that way.
And
I keep trying to think, what is he standing in front of? Like, what is he doing? He looks like a...
That's what I was about to talk about, is the statue. It's a statue. And it looks...
I thought it was like a blanket or something.
I did too. I thought, and I was going to say, I think the composition is really, really nice. I think like using the statue as a background just adds so much texture, like a big like drop cloth or something like that. It's really cool.
In the King, that's the name of the magazine that this is published under.
I guess so, yeah. King of Sweden.
I keep going towards like race car driver or like a sailboat racer.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was like a sailboat sail behind him.
Yeah, that's right. That's my main thought.
Making stuff up. It's actually marble.
Yeah. At least that's what, from everything I'm seeing, that's what it looks like.
Here's my strange critique, just to, complain about a really awesome image. When you put all of the text over top of an image like this and make it look like a magazine cover, it's kind of like a cheat code, right? Because even if this is all fake, I think something psychologically is happening in my mind, and I'm like, ooh, he's on the front of a magazine. Like, this photographer knows what's up. You know what I mean?
It's the tear sheet effect. It makes you feel like this is more legit than it might. I back in the day, I used to add text onto my images.
There you go.
And even if you just put like a little thing on the bottom with a page number, it was enough to make it feel like, oh, this is worth more than maybe it really was.
Yeah. So I'm trying to imagine this image without the text. And I do think it would be much worse because, one, I was going to say that like dirty sheet behind him would be so prevalent. Yeah. And then you told me it's not even a sheet, it's a statue, which I don't know that I would like as much. I feel like my vision might keep going to like, what is that statue in the background? Why is he standing in front of a statue? Like, but because there's all this text over top of it, I don't even think about any of those details. And then the other thing that's weird to me is I don't really like this guy's jacket very much. I feel like it looks awesome where you can see it.
The top.
Yeah. Yeah. But then when you start, your eye starts going down where that text is. I'm like, this looks really bad. Like, it doesn't look like it really fits him. It looks like it's all folded up. It doesn't look right to me. But you put that text on there and like, I don't even notice that stuff, and like this image is 10 out of 10.
The graphic designer would have saved you if you had taken this photo by covering up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, I don't say that to say this is a bad image, but I do think it is way better with all the text on it. Do you agree, or am I crazy?
I see what you're saying. I think it's also one of those areas where you have to give so much credit to the stylists because you don't always have. I mean, most of the time you don't have a stylist. A lot of photographers, you're acting as your own stylist. You're putting everything together. I have no idea. Maybe this had a huge crew because it was done for an actual magazine. Maybe there's more critique to be given there if somebody overlooked that element of it. But if you're the photographer, you're juggling 10 things, and sometimes that sort of stuff goes unseen or you don't catch it. But I see what you're saying. I love the collar. I love the top part of the jacket.
I do too.
I almost wonder if it being unbuttoned and going straight down would be better, or if it's just unwrinkled a little bit. I don't know. I feel like this image is so good, and it's one of the top contenders. And here we are kind of like talking about the styling of the wardrobe.
Under text, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his expression is interesting too.
It's so interesting. Yeah, that's what makes this image, is like that expression is awesome.
And the way, like the other thing is the way he's holding his glasses and he has his hands in his pocket. So many times you tell people who aren't professional models to hold a cigarette or something or their glasses, and they do it in a really weird way.
Right.
And then you get back and you're like, I love the image, but why is he holding the glasses by the nose piece, or something strange?
He looks very relaxed.
Yeah.
Very effortless.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you get involved in these critiques, Chris, or do you just listen to us ramble?
If I see something that I might throw in there, like the abs here of this statue back here looking all chiseled, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I'll stay in my lane.
I assume that this is a real publication, right? He's not submitting some image that he's mocked up from.
Did we fall for it? Did we fall for the Patrick scam?
It could be.
I used to do that scam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a different one now. Just don't let Sweet.
The AI scam.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So,
at least
Carl,
these all look like real words.
Yes, they are. Sometimes you can figure out what they mean just by kind of like that right there. That's a pizza garden, I think, or bar. Yeah, we'll work through that one later. Cool. Next shot is by Sally Montana. What do you think, guys?
Also incredible for just like completely different reasons. We've got something conceptual here. We've got the comedy of it. I love photos like this. These are difficult to forget when a photographer does something like this well. You'll never forget this image. Whereas a good portrait of somebody you don't know, they can be forgettable. But I don't think I'll ever forget a shot of a pilot trying to pump up his tire with a bike pump. So I love the concept. Once again, we've got some really interesting desaturated color grading going on here. And when it comes to lighting, I haven't looked at the diagram on this one. I don't really know what the heck's going on here.
That's what threw me off the most, is it feels like either they're firing their strobe at full power. I mean, I guess we're seeing it now.
All right, I get it. So that's the sun hitting his back on the left,
Yep.
and then he would have been too dark. So they got the flash coming from camera right to lighten him up a little bit.
And what was the modifier out of curiosity? Is this
Looks like a
small
beauty
or
dish.
large?
Yeah, so beauty dish.
The beauty dish. Okay, I think you and I have had conversations about the ineffectiveness of a beauty dish too far away. Like we've all been guilty of that. It's an interesting choice for maybe because of the wind. I definitely have used a beauty dish at times when it's just too windy outside. That one's more rugged and stays in place, but it also does eat up a lot of light.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's kind of directional? Like it's specifically just hitting the pilot more?
To me, sorry to jump in, my thought process is that it's down low coming up, because trying to look back here to see, because she's using a Pro 7. Like she's not using a little amount of power. So I guess it's a Pro B 7. She's got 1200 watts of power, and I see no extra shadow unless she removed it in post, but I don't see any shadows down here changing the direction of the light at all. So my guess is it's coming up at him from over here.
That's an interesting way to light. Sometimes, we always think under lighting is typically not flattering, but sometimes in the utility of putting a light just where it needs to be to fill in a shadow or add a highlight where you need it. If it doesn't cause weird shadows up on the nose and it really causes the photo to fall apart, a lot of times you can place a light in an area that you wouldn't. I see this with product photography a lot. You put a light where you don't think you would want it, and then it just performs perfectly.
Well, you know what I'm noticing right now? I think Chris is right, because if you scroll up just the littlest bit, Chris, like if you look up into that little, I don't know what that's called, but the thing that's holding the wheel, all up in there, I imagine that would be a lot darker with the sun coming in hard from the left like that, but you can see those little like doors that are flipping down. It looks to me that looks like it's lit kind of flat. Now it could have been recovered in post. You could just raise the shadows, but it kind of looks a little flash poppy in there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it. And then you can see that trying to like pay attention to how this shadow is right here. Like that definitely looks like it's kind of just being made by just his little bit of a jawline right there. It's very well done.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, I just love the variety in all these shots, because they're good, but for so many different reasons. The last one we were like, we love this dude's expression, so good. And expression is pointless in this shot.
This shot, I mean, I think the big takeaway for me is this I don't know if there's a story written about this, but this is access, right? Who gets to go on, the tarmac with a plane of this size and be able to shoot from this location? I feel
Mike
Kelly,
Kelly,
you could take him out.
Exactly.
Yeah, very few people. You take him out and you have an awesome image in a different way.
Yep.
All because of the access. So whoever, I don't know if this was planned for this, or I mean, you can't have a bicycle pump lying around, right? Like you kind of had to plan for this.
Yeah.
But just to throw him in there and do this shot, even if this was like a secondary funny shot that, hey, let's go ahead and do it. It's very well thought out. And because of that camera position under this plane, it just seals the deal.
And funny that you kind of say that, and looking at this some more too, because obviously this is not a tiny plane. Like you have the access for such a large airport. And then I'm guessing that they're off to the side somewhere, obviously not like around a gate or anything like that. So I do think, I'm guessing that they also placed all the carts, because I couldn't imagine that these are just hanging out around where the plane pulls in, pulls out. So I like that small detail too.
That's another insane level of access. If not only you can get access to the airplane, but we will also give you people to drive props around in the background. I mean, that would be cool. That I guess maybe I've just never been that famous, but yeah.
Oh,
that
you
would be
stop
awesome
it!
If that's the case.
You stop it!
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Sally, very, very cool shot. Very cool shot.
Yeah, incredible.
Let's see what Brandon Barnard has for us. So here we go, guys. What do we think?
I will go ahead and tell you, this is one of the images that I picked out, and Brandon or Brendan, I can't see the name.
Brandon.
Brandon Brandon had some incredible shots from this entire shoot. This one I felt like was a little darker and underexposed, and I don't know. The other ones just are very fashion forward. I mean, I guess this one is too, but for some reason this caught my eye. So if you're watching this video, go to the Profoto website and view more of these submissions, because there are some great images that are sometimes by the same photographers that just didn't make the cut.
I love this. Incredible. I mean, so much of this is just like perfect styling. If there was, if I had a problem with the guy's jacket in the first image, I have nothing negative to say here. I think my only critique is that I'm not as big of a fan of her expression and her pose here. To me, this feels like, one of probably hundreds of shots he took in this location. And now I'm curious to see, you said there was other ones from the shoot in the spot, right? I didn't see those.
I don't know about like in the set. Yeah. So like it might even be
But
another
like
model.
with the lights in the background and stuff?
Generally, like it might be a different model with a different dress, but it's all done on this set, maybe slightly different angle. But
yeah, I don't know, like something about her pose and then especially her facial expression, it feels a little uncomfortable to me, especially when you compare it to like how comfortable that guy was in the first shot. This feels like she's moving, and I want one or two more shots for that movement to finish, and then that would be my favorite shot. And then also something's a little weird to me about the composition here, like having all that gray dead space on the left. I don't know if I want her centered up, or maybe I want the camera to slide to the left and turn to the right just a little bit. Again, these are just like, I'm nitpicking here.
yeah,
But I feel like this photographer has done an incredible amount of work to get to this point. And I bet there's just another shot 1 second earlier or 1 second later than this that I personally would like better.
I think what you need is just text. On the left side.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, you put text on that dead spot on the left, and then you put text on the dress a little bit, and yeah, I don't even notice these things.
I keep thinking, should this be a vertical image? Which is hard. It's hard to critique the crop when you have the ability to do the crop. It's easy to say, oh, there's no more image, and I wish I could see more. But when you have too much information, like maybe this has, that's an editor's dream, right? Because now you can crop it however you want.
Chris, can you click on the upper right? I see a little like magnifying glass. Can we see this full screen?
Yeah, I was going to ask to see her face a little bit clearer too.
Yeah.
Is she looking down?
It just
Away from the camera,
again, it's just with the facial
right
expression, it just feels a little bit, I don't know. And then it appears like we have a pretty deep depth of field going on here, doesn't it? Like, and
Yeah, 'cause this
I'm
is pretty
looking,
sharp.
I'm looking at a low res shot through like zoom right now, guys. So I'm sure I can't see all the detail that's actually there, but it kind of feels like she was very underexposed, and then the photographers brought back detail just in her face. Notice how like her forehead's brighter than her shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm just noticing all that when it's a little bit smaller, and then I just feel like, what's your thought on the
flare?
The flare, yeah. Is it just like a little much?
That's my biggest critique of this image. Is I'm kind of curious if there's a fourth light or a strobe back there, because it seems like it's flaring from not from the HMI hot light.
That's got to be
so right here. If you see, there is. I'm going to just zoom in terribly, but yeah. See, there's like a little scrim right here. There's. I think there's another light back behind that.
That's weird. He shot a light through a scrim. Why would
I guess just to. I wonder if it's to pull the power back a little bit, or just to diffuse it out just a hair. There's also, and so this is what I wanted to see too in the image. So Profoto B1, 3-foot octa. My question is, what is this light stand doing? Like, is that something? I'm guessing no.
And then why is the strobe not in that diagram down there? The one in the back.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Go to the video. I don't know how much you want to spend time on this, but I clicked this for a second I'll watch any YouTube video. I mean, that's what our whole channel is about. And I feel like there was a lot of video lights and stuff too. So maybe what we're seeing is just other production elements that, aren't needed for the photograph, but could be
That
there
looks so good right there.
I don't think that
looks
was.
so good.
See, here we go. Here's some
Okay,
different
so
lights that are used just for video.
Yeah, so that looks like what maybe that is then.
So this is a different model, and then here's
Unless
the one that
that-
we're looking at.
Man, that looks so good too, though. Just a video of it.
I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but how many times have we done both photo and video, and then you get back and the slow motion video outshines the photography?
That's why I shoot more video now, because I can just find that 1 second of
Yeah.
video that looks perfect.
Yeah.
And imagine
I think with
a little bit of slow-mo
photographer,
video. I was just gonna say, imagine a slow-mo video with just like a little text over the top of it.
Oh, that's the greatest.
Where it's been rotoscope, it's been feathered in to where like they're in front of the text.
Oh, 100%. This the winner.
Yeah. So another thing that I'll get your opinion on this, because I see these images and I'm always trying to take away something that they're doing that I can apply in my own work, because in many cases I realize other photographers are way more talented than me. And so one thing I would do in this image is I would have lit her brighter, and maybe, I don't want to say overexposed her. It would have been a correct exposure, but I would have introduced that light stronger. I kind of think that would be a mistake, and I enjoy. Would you say this is underexposed on her, or it's like a half a stop, or
Just a hair,
third of a stop?
I think she was underexposed, and then they have recovered it in post. That's what I'm guessing. That's why I'm guessing her face is brighter than her chest.
But if you did that, you could still go further, like I'm saying, and really make her pop by pulling her out even more, which that's what I would have tended to do with my image, is make her the subject. She's the brightest thing in the scene besides the blown out background. I like this look. It's more subtle. It's also almost as if in a sea of warm lights, I feel like she is lit with a cooler light, and it's kind of giving this like cooler skin tone, which is something I also don't tend to do very often. And maybe I should be doing that. So
I think the best portrait and fashion photographers tend to have darker images. I think they do a better job of like creating these moody images. And I think we, especially when we were first getting started with f-stoppers and we were trying to like do tutorials on fashion, not knowing what we were doing, we wanted our key light to be the brightest light. We wanted it to look like our images were flashed.
Well, and I think too, we started off as wedding photographers, and in many cases, it's easier to light a person brightly and find that acceptable than it is to do a moodier image where the bride might say, hey, like, I don't like the way the moody light's hitting my face. But that's exactly what a fashion photographer would do if they were to shoot a wedding. So I think it's kind of like breaking anyone watching this. It's like breaking old habits is always an important, aspect of photography to try to overcome.
It's a great point.
Next,
just to finish this up. This is the sun. It has to be. I mean, I don't think he said anything about it, but the more I kind of like look at the background and see how much light is coming in through this doorway, I can't imagine that's a strobe.
Are you telling me that your strobes are not capable of being that bright?
I'm saying,
do we need to go to another brand, Chris?
What is he shooting at? F5.6? I don't know, man.
Well,
that's
now
pretty
that
tough.
you mentioned that, I didn't even catch this, but you imagine those hot lights back there are acting as backlights for the scene. But what is casting the shadows from the light stands of the hot lights? It's got to be either another powerful strobe or the sun, because who would ever think that I need to light the lights so that they cast long shadows coming towards the camera?
Yeah,
that's like quite a bit.
I thought that's what it was. I thought there was a strobe
too.
back there. It would make a little bit more sense though why there would be the scrim in the background, because you said maybe to cut down some of the light. Yeah, but it's a digital strobe. You can just turn it down.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. If it's the maybe sun. Chris has it figured out.
I wouldn't go that far. But anyway, very, very, very cool shot, Brandon Barnard. Very, very cool. All right, this is Victor Franco.
This is with a strobe?
This is with a strobe. If we scroll down here to the BTS, we have building, B30. Ooh, using the new boy. I like it. B30 with a zoom reflector. F11.
All right. So awesome, interesting location. Love the idea of creating this beam of light with a strobe. I don't know that I would even consider that. I don't know that I would think that a strobe would be powerful enough to do that. And so that's probably why it wouldn't come to mind. If I was shooting inside a building, then I might think to do that. But outside, I assume this is outside.
Maybe at night.
Yeah, but I mean, it just looks like there's light out there through that little
Mhm.
gap, you know. So I don't know, just super cool. I personally wouldn't think of that. I think I have two issues with this image. One, I feel like maybe it's a little wide, and like, you know, the bricks on the ground are just a little junky looking, and so my eye keeps going down there to, like, you know, gum on the bricks or something. I'm not sure that I'm the biggest fan of that. And then that person in the shot doesn't look very cool to me. It just kind of looks like the photographer to me. Whereas you get that girl from the last shot with that incredible dress, and she's walking away from the camera. Now, all of a sudden, it feels like a completely different image to me. So,
I mean, it would be.
well, it'd be 99% the same, but it feels like, to me, and this is going to sound harsh, I really like this shot, but this feels like a test shot before we get the model in there. Is that fair, or am I being a jerk?
I just keep thinking, because Chris is going to cut this out, like, this is the image that we chose to win the whole thing.
Oh, really?
So now I'm like, where are we going with this? No, I mean, I see what you're saying. It definitely doesn't feel like there's as much production by any means compared to the other images that we've seen. But there is an element of this that I feel like is one of the most interesting, clever uses of strobe. I mean, you just mentioned it. I wouldn't think to use a strobe like this. And I don't think I would look at this and even think that this is a strobe. This seems like natural daylight.
Sure.
You scroll down, you show that it's a, what'd you say? It's the D or B30?
Yeah.
The
So
B30 is shooting through the alleyway, and it's causing
with a zoom
that
reflector. Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think about cropping in? So we still keep it a vertical image, but we crop in and slide to the upper left. So we're cutting off a little bit of the right side, and we're cutting off a little bit of the bottom. Yeah. So it'd be like that, but also cutting off a little bit of the right side. I feel like that's such a more interesting
the lines
composition.
They become more predominant and
Yeah,
stronger.
well, and that like white wall on the upper left feels clean and like finished to me, whereas the bricks feel kind of like dirty and grungy to me. So, like, I don't know, even this crop, the way he has right now, it's almost like a square. This feels more complete to me than having all those grungy bricks.
It's funny you keep saying grungy bricks. Unless you could zoom in even more, these bricks kind of feel like they're really nice architectural bricks to me.
yeah, they're okay.
I see like some little smudge there maybe, but I'm like, I'd be happy if I hired somebody and they did this in my property. Like,
I agree. Like, it's a good brick job, but in terms of like a photo, I either want it to be like way more grungy, you know, like I want it to be like cobblestone or something.
Can never make this guy happy.
Or I want it to be like perfect lines, you know what I mean? Because everything about this is like these perfect geometrical lines.
I hear
and
what
all
you're
that.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you vignette it a little bit? Burn it in a little, just give a little gradient that takes your eye away from that.
Yeah.
I would just love for the and that's why I cropped it. I would just love for that light beam to finish in the corner of the frame.
Yeah, okay. I keep thinking, I don't know if we can see what's in his left hand. I keep wanting to place the camera in the hand.
I would like that better.
It's a portrait of the photographer.
Yeah, sure.
And in some ways, it may cheapen it if you're not a photographer and you're looking at this through the fine art lens. You'd say, why is this guy holding a camera? But if it's your profile picture, like, what a cool profile picture that doesn't have to show your face at all.
I agree with that. Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe he's not holding anything.
I mean, maybe he's not a photographer. Maybe he is the model.
Would you want a little more separation in the arm, or like a little change in the cadence? Or
yes, I don't like the step of the legs. The way the legs are like occluding. Is that the right word? The front leg. I don't like that. I want to see a gap between the legs.
It almost makes him look like he has like one leg.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm
The
saying.
shadow gives it away, but there is.
Yeah, it does
Well,
look
I feel
a
like
little uncomfortable.
even this crop right here, I think I like better than the current crop. Everything Chris does, I like.
It's just yeah. I'm the crop master.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm so bad at what I do. I just have to try to like hide it with like, oh, I just really meant to take a picture of this.
No.
Cool, very cool shot, Victor Franco. Love it.
Does he say what time of day he shot that? Is there any
Let's
other
see.
information
Says-
about the technicals?
Said it's just used a B30 500 watt zoom reflector, 4 meters high. Profoto flash was positioned so the light passed through the gaps between the buildings, fell directly under the model, creating the focus beam. Ambient light consists of sunny daylight reflected off surrounding buildings, which filled the space in the foreground, provided natural fill light.
He does say model. He doesn't say me.
Oh yeah, so must not be a self-portrait. Let's see. Photograph booked around strong minimalism, simple monumental architecture defined by clean, plain, sharp edges, geometry. Yeah, it doesn't say self-portrait or anything.
Well, this is one of those techniques I feel like I'm going to steal because I've been telling Lee this for a decade probably, and it's probably not going to happen. I've been talking about it too long, but I've always had a goal to get an image in the Red Bull Illume. And I feel like if you take that guy out and you put a skateboarder or a BMX person in the same scene, and everybody's probably got somewhere in their town that's got a high enough building where you could do this effect. I feel like, you could shoot some really cool sports or, you could do a lot of other things in here. You were saying like a wedding dress. This is a cool technique that I've never even attempted that I think, I might have to explore this here in the streets of San Juan.
Faux show.
Cool. So this
All
shot right here
next
is
up.
by, this one's by Johnson Wee. Really cool image.
Yeah. Super cool. Just so simple, but says so much. This one's kind of similar to the airplane one, pumping up the tire. It's going to be hard for me to forget this image. There's nothing about this that I could say like, wow, masterful, or like I could never do that, or what an incredible idea. But it's just so simple and well done. And the posing of their legs and her hand is just so good.
Oh, I didn't even notice her hand.
It's just, I find it difficult to complain about anything with this image. I can't say, oh my gosh, this is the greatest image I've ever seen, but I also can't say there's anything that I would do to it to make it any better.
How do you feel about the color grade?
I find it very interesting. And maybe some of this is kind of real and natural, but I assume what's going on here is you've just got some cheap light, maybe that's naturally a little bit green, and then the photographer has put a strobe inside there that's nice, clean white, and then kind of white balanced for that strobe, and then we're getting that natural greenish tone on the outside, and I love that. I feel like if the color was consistent throughout this entire image, it would lose so much.
I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to get from you is this color grade would be or if it's naturally happening with the white balance, it would be very easy to look at the back of the camera and say, it's green and grungy. And maybe this is even tweaked a little bit, but there's something about the hues in the colors. If it's that sodium vapor lamp, that's like, or that fluorescent lamp that's causing that color, it's so muted in a way that it gives it that film nostalgic look that I think if you correctly adjusted the color, like you said, it would completely become bland. It was just like, it looks too perfect at that point.
Well, obviously they're cropping out what would normally be the most interesting aspect of this image is two people's faces probably making out or something. They've cropped that out. So now the only thing that we have to draw our attention to the subjects is going to be the color, which is unique and different. And then it's just slightly brighter. And I just feel like it's the perfect amount. There's even a little bit of blown out in that white dress right there, but I feel like it's the perfect amount. It makes it feel like a flash pop's going off in there, which would be happening in a photo booth.
And the color difference is subtle too. Like if you squint and really look at it, I mean, we're not talking about, super warm 3200 and 5000 Kelvin. Like the colors are much more similar, which makes me wonder, do they tell you if they've gelled the flash or, you can do so much now in post, but
let's see. So inside the photo booth, A2 with the diffuser, which I'm sure it's also a big white box. But yeah, no, they didn't use a gel. It's just the diffuser dome over the front of an A2.
All right, here's a potential crazy nitpick. On the far right side of this image, there is that green sign with the guy in the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that? It bothers me a little bit that like there's this sign that's touching the edge of the frame.
no.
Don't you like it, or
If anything, my eye goes to the signs next to them. And it's hard. Can you zoom in more? Like it almost feels like there's
Yeah.
a not a rolling shutter, but the shutter is too fast for like a backlit LED light or something. It's just, I don't know. It's like when you take it, moire, it's like when you take a picture of the screen, there's something about those signs that just feel low quality where the ones that are printed and installed on the wall have a sharper look to them. I don't know that.
But if I gin fill that green sign out on the right, and now there's a little gap over there, does it feel like a more consistent? Like I don't want to crop the green out, because if I crop the green out, now the blue and white sign is touching the edge of the frame. It's just we've got that space to breathe on the far left, right? And now we've got this green sign, and now I'm seeing that you're zoomed in there. It's actually not touching. There's like 1 pixel to the right of that green sign, but it feels like it's like a little claustrophobic to me.
This does not bother me at all.
Okay, I mean, I'm nitpicking.
Chris has to be the deciding factor. Do you care at all about the green sign?
Get rid of the green sign. No, I mean, like when I put my finger over the green sign, it does feel stronger.
What you got to say now, Patrick?
But did that even cross your mind before Lee brought it up?
I mean, I was more into the color grade and the feeling of it actually feeling like the way the colors and the tones feels like the inside of a bus station. Like it's a really beautifully done color grade. The green is super fun. I would never usually go with green like that. And it's
I hate really when my images have that color. I hate it. And I really love it in this picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I push everything towards magenta. Like I think even in my batches, I have just +2 or something in that direction because I hate green so much. But I keep wondering what you do with this image, because if you're, this has so many like editorial uses and even advertising uses. There's a lot you could do with this.
I just assume this is a wedding photographer's image.
But if this is you and your wife, is this a fun picture that you can print huge in your house and it doesn't have to show you guys?
I don't know, dude.
Or are you like, I don't really want this in my house either?
That's what's so weird about wedding photos. Is like, and I was a wedding photographer for like 20 years. I feel like how many of these are you really printing and hanging on your walls? Like, Chris, how many wedding photos are hanging on your wall in your house?
Maybe 1, and it might be a 5x7.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, and I'm the oddball out here. I have like 4 in like poster-sized prints that go down like the hallway of my house.
That's pretty weird. But like, if you were gonna have one, it can't be this one, right? Like you can't even see your faces. But this image might be the best of your entire wedding day from a portfolio's perspective. So it
depends on the type of room. Like I could see printing this up in your man cave or in like a game room or something to where it's just a quirky image that no one might really, it's unassuming, but it's not going to be like in your living room with this like putrid green color either. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just such such a strong image and so cool that I feel like it needs to be printed large so that you can like go up and look at that green sign. But I don't know. It's odd too because it's not showing the couple's face. What was the WPJI? What was the company that used to do the awards? WPJA. I don't know if they still exist, but there used to be a big forum for wedding photographers that would submit images. And what they have, like, what's the other one that's probably more contemporary now? I'm drawing a blank, but these type of images would win those contests all the time just because they're so outside the box and interesting and unconventional.
We love this putrid green image. Now let's go to the next one.
Good word, right?
So
This might be my favorite of the critique. It's in the top few.
I do really like it. So this one's very interesting because I have been very outspoken about how much I hate 45 degree lighting. This like cross lighting thing where you're just put lights on either side of people and fire at both sides.
Mhm.
I really hate that type of lighting. However, this one has gone so over the top with it that it's like you've broken the rule so hard and so obviously that I've now come back around and now I like 45. Just like how I hate green photos within the last putrid green one I liked. I hate 45 lighting. They've won me over.
See, I don't know. For anyone not aware, this is something we have discussed a lot on our channel. And I feel like I don't dislike 45. It's just so many times people do it in a poor fashion. They either use soft boxes or they use, it's just, it never has this contrast that this has. When I see this image, when I saw it and picked it, this is one that I picked. It has that David LaChapelle look to it. It screams like late 90s, early 2000s, when people were doing those crazy shoots where they would put Britney Spears out, serving hot dogs and there's in Times Square and the lighting looks like this. And you just say, what in the world are they thinking? And that maybe it's just, a nostalgic feeling that I have towards that type of photography in that era. That's kind of what got me into being interested in photography. All those Rolling Stone cover, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And this just is a lighting style that I never do, probably because of the stigma we both put on it. But when I see something like this, it makes me want to explore this more. I don't know that, especially with whatever's on her shirt and stuff, like maybe that's what David LaChapelle would do, is he'd have stains on the shirt of the person, but I don't know that there's enough going on in this image for me to think like, wow, this almost feels kind of like a test shot too. But if she had a barbells behind her, and you started building the production up to where maybe like there's a fire breather or there's oil slicks or there's little tiny people. You do all of this like over the top stuff that type of genre would have, and you say, wow, there's this old grandmother with a bunch of people under
who Patrick?
I don't know
who is the grandma with.
She's with the politically correct short people.
Oh,
as a short person myself.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but a circus.
As president of the Short People Society.
If you had circus performers in the background, this is the
we get it.
You
use. Want weird stuff in the photo. So
I'll say this. So last critique, we were talking with Ab and Chris. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, and we were like, the photo's cool, but as soon as we read the caption below it, we're like, oh, that changes the way that we look at the image completely. And so this one is Barbara's a 90-year-old woman from Barcelona who goes to the beach every morning and gives free gym classes to elderly people. So now the muscles makes more sense why she's doing that.
But she needs the dumbbells. Now it
needs
even
exactly
more,
Yeah.
Yeah. It could even be those like, in the 80s, they had those black and white photographers who would do the crazy cartoony looking things where the dumbbells are like from the circus and they look fake. You know what I mean? They're like perfect circles like you'd have like in the 20s or something, the mustache. That's what you need in this. You need something just so over the top where you're like, this woman is in LA and she is that character, but without it, it kind of feels like it's missing something.
I feel like that shirt, her bracelets, her hair, the sunglasses, and the lighting are working so well. Like I'm all in on her and the lighting, which I should hate, but I really like it. But then to kind of pile on to what Patrick's saying, it's just like this location, and I understand maybe this is where she does it, but it just kind of, I'm going back to the grungy the grungy bricks. It kind of feels like we're in North Korea or something. Like, I don't know what's going on with these buildings in the background. Like, so I want there to be a little bit more production going on with this image to to go all the way with it. And she's there. Like you've got the character. I like the pink shirt. The sunglasses are so cool. But now I just want like, and it's hard, especially, you know, if you're doing this for a local magazine, they're paying you $200, and then we're trying to tell you like, no, what you need to do now is go get 500 pounds in weights and some elephants, and you know, the guy with the mustache and wearing the striped outfit, and that's who you have to and you're gonna be like, come on guys, where am I gonna find all that stuff? But like that's the difference between this image and the one with the airplane. Was like she got the airplane, she got the outfit with the pilot, you know.
Yeah, and kind of go back to what you said, like the buildings feel like they're there just to add some sort of visual interest, but they don't make any sense with what it is. Like I remember I shot something a long time ago, and my buddy Cliff, I was showing him the image. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'd put like, it was like this goofy character, and I'd put some goofy things in the background, but it was just like here and there. And he was like, you either need to flood it with goofy stuff or get rid of the goofy stuff and just let him be the goofy thing. And so here it's like, the buildings don't do anything. What I would personally do for this shot to make it cooler is I would go like super wide, maybe not quite a fisheye, but like a super wide lens, up close, shoot up more into the blue, and just so it kind of distorts it funky. It's more blue. You're getting rid of stuff, and I think that would be where I personally would take this image if I couldn't. Bring 500 pounds in weights and an elephant and all that other stuff for the background. It's just a change in the way that you shoot it. It'd still have all the quirkiness that she has, but you start getting rid of stuff that's a distraction. Because honestly, the buildings are a distraction.
Right.
So yeah, you said North Korea. I keep thinking it's like Atlantic City, or I keep placing her in Vegas. But, you know, it's just like there's not enough going on to where she's the king of this domain.
Yeah.
It's like she's just in this area that's not really surviving. It's like she lives in that building, and that's the only buildings in the whole town, you know? So I don't know. I keep thinking what else you could do. If you could put all your students on the ground, like she's outlasted them, or I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but it definitely, I feel like it needs more production to be. So what Lee and I do a lot is we critique things as if they belong in your portfolio. And if this was taken for a magazine that needed to cover her and they gave you $100 to go shoot it, this is great. This is going to work perfect. But if you're trying to also put your own elements into your own photo shoot so that you can walk away with an image that you feel this is going to brand me in the direction that I want to go, that's where I feel like an image like this, it just needs a little bit more.
And I appreciate you guys having this in here for an honorable mention, because I feel like we could look through a whole bunch of really, really super well lit, high production images, and people are like, oh yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. That's nice with that. But coming back to something like this, which is already, it's cool. It's starting to be cool, but it just needs some tweaks to be able to just talk about, again, how you could add some more visual stuff to the background that makes that so we don't have to read the description to know what's going on. Or maybe we need to get rid of some things so that we don't, that stuff, it's all about her. So I just think that it's cool to have something like this in here. So it's lit really, really cool. It's got that late 90s, early 2000s, Rolling Stone vibe. But it's good. It just needs a couple things to be great.
Do we know, is this a 2-light setup with different modifiers, or is one of the lights the sun? Like, what are we looking at here?
Oh, yeah, one is the sun. That makes so much more sense now. I was like, how are they getting a harder shadow on the right, but then look at the shadow on camera left cheek is darker? And I'm like, how is this happening? It's just blowing my mind, but now it makes sense.
Yep, that's what it is. So this I'm guessing off here is the sun. And then here's the light. I could be wrong, but yeah, it looks like it's from the glass. It looks like it's coming that way. So yeah, beauty dish.
Cool.
Again, probably not the best modifier for a full body shot, but it's still a cool image.
I mean, I don't see any fall off. You know what I mean? Like it looks just as bright on her face as it does on her shoes.
Yeah, it's well aimed.
Yeah.
So we've gone through 6 images. We have Carl Thorberg here. We have Sally Montana with the pilot pumping up the tire. We have Brandon Barnard with this super high fashion kind of voguey editorial fill shot. We have the super minimalist shot with Victor. We have Johnson Wee with a really cool green bus station photo booth image. What do we think? Again, we've already said this right here is an honorable mention. We wanted to show some cool light and talk about some things that you could do to change this. So that's really, really cool. So it's really down to these 5. So again, we have Carl Thorberg with this really cool magazine cover, really beautifully shot. Again, Sally Montana with the airplane, Brendan Barnard, Victor Franco, and Johnson Wee. So what do you think, boys?
Well, we have discussed this before filming, and these are all incredible shots. I think any one of these really could win, but Lee and I both really like that first image. I forget the name of the photographer.
Carl Thorberg.
Carl. I feel like, as much as Lee doesn't like the shirt styling,
Covered by the text,
It's the
man. I don't
words.
even
this
It's
see
the
is,
words.
yeah, it just goes to show that you can still win one of these pro photo contests, even having.
Dude, this
That's
guy's
the jacket.
facial expression, I feel like he is staring into my soul. Like something
he's-
about this guy's face is like haunting me in
And
a
he's
good way.
disapproving. He is like,
Is
Lee,
that
Yeah.
it? I feel like he might be in love with me.
No, I think.
Yeah,
he's
I was about
like,
to say, he might take you
I had
to
better
seafood
plans for
lunch.
you.
Seafood lunch.
Not dinner. It's
Oh,
lunch.
okay. I haven't made it to the dinner date yet. Yeah, I love this shot. I love the lighting. I honestly don't know if I would like it nearly as much without the text. But man, with that text, even the weird king coming down at a strange angle, maybe that's the way they do all their magazine covers. I just love this image. It was like so clear to me. The second I saw this, I was like, whoa, that's incredible.
Yeah. No, I mean, it made an impression. It was like I had to hold back a little because it was the first image that we saw.
Mm.
But now that we've seen them all, this one's the strongest.
Sweet. So Carl Thorborg. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. You're the winner, man. You won this month's challenge, blending flash and ambient light. Congratulations. We will be in touch with you about your winnings. In the meantime, for anyone else, we've got one challenge left. Please check out Share the Light on prophoto.com to upload your images. I think next month is your best image. So it's really like, show us your best shot. The best thing you got in your portfolio, upload it to Share the Light, try to win 2K and stuff. And then hopefully you've also been in at least 2 other challenges so that you can be in the running for the Gold Wrap Pro 11. If not, you can still win 2K and stuff. So with that being said, Carl Thorborg, congratulations, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. And that's it. Carl Thorborg, you are the winner for month 5, mixing flash and ambient with the Share the Light challenge on Profoto. We will be in touch with you about your winnings, and we got 1 month left, everyone. It's all about showing us your best shot using flash. So go through your portfolio, find your best shot using flash, upload that bad boy to Share the Light, show us the lighting diagram, tell us about the gear, show us a BTS shot if you have one, and get in the competition and try to win $2,000 in Profoto gear. And again, if this gets you up to your 3rd competition entry, you also have the opportunity to win a Gold Wrap Pro 11. So with that being said, thank you everyone for entering. Thank you, Lee and Patrick, for all of your awesome critiquing, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.